Becca here, and today I want to talk to you about fluoride. What is it? Well, you may know that it's a chemical sometimes naturally occurring in water sources, as well as an added ingredient in toothpastes and mouthwashes. Many studies show this chemical reduces tooth decay by remineralizing teeth. It's also added to drinking water in most municipalities in the United States, but for some reason is banned in most of Europe and other countries around the world. But it's endorsed by the ADA, the CDC, and the FDA. So why am I talking about it today? Oh, because it's poison. The ADA and the FDA tell us fluoride is perfectly safe because the jury's still out on whether fluoride causes long-term harm. Remember when the jury was still out in the 1950s as to whether cigarettes really caused cancer? Newsflash, the scientists knew it caused cancer, they were just hushed up by the talented lobbyists that were so good at spinning that PR. Fluoride is an active ingredient in insecticides, rodenticides, that's rat poison, tranquilizers, fertilizers, and, the atomic freaking bomb. The fact that fluoride is a toxic substance is not an issue of debate. Purposefully drinking toxic substances to reduce tooth decay is like choosing to inject just a tiny bit of heroin every day because you heard it would help you lose weight. When fluoride is ingested in large amounts, or even small amounts over prolonged periods of time, it is shown to have extensive negative effects on the human body. It's not a nutrient, and therefore it's not something that the body needs, like iodine, for example, which we often add to our salt. But iodine is actually a nutrient needed for proper biological function. Fluoride is a chemical proven to be toxic in high levels. The most evident health effect from overexposure to fluoride is dental fluorosis. By the way, don't Google image search that unless you want to be completely horrified. Dental fluorosis causes enamel to erode and teeth to turn brown and irregularities and pits in the surface of the teeth. Fluorosis happens most during the first 8 years of life, when most permanent teeth are being formed, so if you don't have it yet, you're probably good. But cosmetic damage is not where it ends. Greater exposure to fluoride can lead to skeletal fluorosis, which causes the accelerated decay of the bones. The Environmental Working Group, a respected Washington-based research organization, put out this study in 2005, a while ago, showing that boys exposed to fluoride between the ages of 5 and 10 will suffer an increased rate of osteosarcoma. That's bone cancer. Other studies link fluoride to seizures, gastrointestinal upset, and many recent studies out of China show a correlation between high exposure to fluoride and lower IQ. So if you weren't worried enough about all that pot you smoked in college turning you into a bumbling idiot, tap water could be making you even stupider. You may be thinking, Becca, if all this is true about fluoride, why is it okay in toothpaste but not in the fluoridation of drinking water? Well, I would give you the same advice Allie Baker gave me once in high school when advising on how to give a proper blowjob. Don't swallow! The scientific evidence shows fluoride works just as well in preventing cavities with topical application to teeth. Ingesting fluoride does not increase the benefit to dental health. Not only that, the type of fluoride in drinking water is not pharmaceutical grade, as it is in toothpaste products. The hydrofluoric acid added to 90% of America's drinking water is a compound of fluorine that is a chemical byproduct of aluminum, steel, cement, phosphate, and nuclear weapons manufacturing. So why is it in drinking water, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you did, because back in 1939, that's 72 years before Game of Thrones first went on air, if you need a reference, a chemist named Gerald Cox concluded in a study that fluoride reduces cavities in rats. He was a researcher for the American Aluminum Company, which was at the time the largest producer of sodium fluoride in the US. That's all the company needed to find a profitable way to dispose of a byproduct that is otherwise very expensive to get rid of. They could just sell it to local municipalities to pour into the drinking water, because who doesn't want a brighter smile, right? The addition of fluoride to drinking water is an example of mass medication. You wouldn't let your barista put a Xanax in your morning latte or let your government dose you with birth control when you go to the DMV, so why the fuck are we letting our local governments force us to ingest this toxic chemical and not allowing us to make that choice for ourselves? Do you buy into the idea that small amounts of toxic chemicals are okay if they give everyone fresher breath? Let us know in the comments below.